Arizona, massive heat melt, you guys. Currently, right now, what you're looking at, yes, it just dropped to 102 degrees and it's almost 10 o'clock, you guys. Just a minute ago before I started, it was 103, and about 45 minutes prior, it was just barely dropped into that 103-degree weather, you guys. That's how freaking hot it is. Now take a look at this. Now people's mailboxes have been melting. This trash can here in the valley completely melted, literally, and this is all from the heat here. Temperatures from the ground nearly 200 degrees, you guys. So all you folks out there, I'm going to mention something. You people who just get out there and walk your pets, and I see a lot of you taking your pets in the heat like that, walking on the ground, take your damn shoes off and feel what that pet's feeling. I have no respect for those kind of people. Now also airplanes, even airplanes could not even get off the ground because of the thinness of the air due to the heat. Now here's the fire that was struck up in northern Arizona, lighting this whole area up, and for a few days it was just a battle, continuous, and they could not contain this fire, you guys. And total amount of acreage was over 41,000 acres. People lost their homes. People are now living in vehicles and definitely feel what they are going through. It's devastating. This was probably one of the worst fires that we've ever had in the state that I know of. And a couple firefighters were injured but survived due to the fire. It was just such a massive fire, you guys. If this doesn't say enough for the world globally, mind you, imagine being up in the air during this kind of situation. Planes would be falling from the dang sky, you guys. If they can't get off the ground, well, they're gonna fall if they're up in the air. The heat has gotten so tense, not just here in Arizona alone, you guys, but throughout the whole globe. Never would you have seen anything this intense. I mean, we are seriously living the tipping point of the times. All these cars, all these people, you guys, look at this. Every single year, the cars here in Arizona end up in the shop due to blown head gaskets or warped manifolds and etc. And of course, majority of the new vehicles have nothing but plastic valve covers, plastic manifolds. I mean, it's just ridiculous. More plastic. People's tires melting and causing blowouts on the freeway. There's tons of tire shreds all over the freeways here. It's unprecedented, you guys. And the way how hot it is tonight, it is ridiculous. This is gonna be a bad year for everybody throughout the whole road, you guys, and things are not gonna get better. I think it's too late to fix everything, and still people are still asleep. So let's get into your earthquake update. So here's the earthquake forecast for today, and of course this is today's activity, dating no longer than 24 hours and including volcanic activity. And boy, man, did I hit it on the money, you guys. Been right every single time. Especially when you have that feeling, you just know. Unbelievable. What did I tell you guys last week about this area from Fiji all the way up going towards through Indonesia? Those who've been keeping up to date with me daily, you guys remember what I was talking about, how this is the most unstable part of the planet Earth's tectonic plates, you guys? And when I said it was gonna certainly pick up on a mass uprise, take a look. Especially compared to yesterday's forecast, things literally tripled than what it was yesterday. Take a look at the seismics going on. 5.4 magnitude earthquake. following by multiple more 5.1, and then volcanic eruptions are starting to happen, you guys. There's more volcanic activity, and every time when these earthquakes start to trigger what I always mention, a mass domino effect, it really shakes things up. I have a feeling, in my point of view, you guys, there's a possibility something could give along to those tectonic plates, because they're just like a broken piece of a plate you dropped on the ground, just put back together with glue being held. It just needs that right magnitude earthquake. And there was an article I read 2 weeks ago. I should have brought it on here. I'll actually go ahead and do this. But they were actually talking about through California, basically the whole floor, which kind of definitely gave me the chills down my spine. The whole Pacific West Coast, the whole floor, what they're saying is actually moving. Pretty crazy stuff, you guys. It is just, everything is just unbelievable with what is going on. So as far as for tomorrow's activity, it's just going to keep continuing on and tripling and keep getting worse. This is definitely something I figured this was going to happen. Take a look. 4.8 magnitude earthquake, 45.33 kilometers. But this here, striking up in the red zone. I mean, this is unprecedented times, you guys. And there's other topics that I don't even talk about that would just, it still won't even touch the icing on the cake. If people would take the time and just take that minute and pay attention for once and really focus what's going on with this planet and all of us people, definitely would blow their minds away. And of course, some people don't like to hear this stuff, you guys, because it scares them. It is unbelievable. Now, this is through the USGS. So all this we're looking at, this is USGS's data that we're actually looking at right now. This is not the EMSC. We'll clear this out and we'll see what the EMSC is offering. And take a look. Bam! Now the EMSC, if you guys didn't know, they are a non-profit. And so, guys, like you say, they're not part of like the USGS, so they're able to, on their own, do a complete global watch for earthquakes and give exact, accurate data. But still, with everything going on for Yellowstone, surprisingly, we don't get nothing there. But then again, the EMSC, of course, probably doesn't have anything to basically record any events going on within Yellowstone. Indonesia, as I said, picking up in mass amount of seismic activity. 10 kilometers, very shallow, with a 4.7 magnitude earthquake, one on top of another, on top of another, on top of another. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 earthquakes, all within just this area. 5.1. Then also take a look over here. Bam, 4.7. You guys, things are... By the end of the month, we just might go on ahead and see a 7.4 magnitude earthquake strike somewhere within through here. I have no doubts about it. I can't promise, but just the way how things are looking, you guys, it's happened before. There's been 8.1 magnitude earthquakes that had struck throughout in the area. And here's a new volcano starting to erupt. Take a look. Based on analysts of satellite imagery, wind model data, notices a PVMBG. VAAC reported that during the 28th of June through the 4th of July, ash plumes from Dukono rose to an altitude of 2.1 kilometers. That's 7,000 feet. That's what they're saying. So that is definitely one I bet you they're certainly keeping a watch on. There is so much volcanic activity, just everything, you guys. Now coming up over here, 4.7. Indonesia's getting rocked. And here's more earthquake activity, and believe it or not, all along the tectonic plate. Now near Alaska, take a look over there. You got two earthquake, volcanic that is going on right here. Moderate 10-minute long explosion at Cleveland was detected in both seismic and infrasound data beginning at 0319 on the 4th of July, you guys, prompting the AVO to basically raise the aviation color code to an orange, and you guys will know where that orange level goes, and the volcano alert level basically onto a watch. So after the event seismically declined and remained low, but again, it's just releasing pressure. Think of all the small earthquakes, just like California, releasing that pressure as well. When you see tons of all these small little 0.2s, 0.1, 1.0s, and etc., you guys get the point. And surprisingly, nothing, which is very, very weird for today's update. Look at all the earthquakes there up on the left. You put those earthquakes on this United States map, there wouldn't be no United States, you guys. That's why I tell you guys that could actually trigger before the San Andreas fault, and then that would trigger the rest of what is left, which is pretty freaking spooky. And I don't think I've ever seen this much volcanic activity in just one day. Now the USGS, they are showing two earthquakes here along the west coast, 3.19, shallow 2.18 kilometers in depth. And of course, I got to bring you the global incident maps, you guys. That is another great source. I'll leave you a link if you have not yet checked that out. So if you guys like to go check that out, go on ahead. Very well accurate. They do use the USGS as well, along with other sources. I noticed Australia, even their data provides quite a bit more. So I'm really always trying to keep an eye out, you guys, to see who's bringing the most data available. That way I can bring it to you. And so I'd rather use multiple different sources. And this here is one of my favorites because it is highly accurate. This is IR Vibes, info, entertainment, reviews. Thanks again, everybody.